can have impact even if it does not get out to a really fast lead, and not something that you have to rely on to do consistent damage as the primary source for your team.
Okay, so it's the same drafting setup in game number 2 as it was for game number 1. A Carly ban here instead for Top Esports, maybe dangling the Orianna bait a little bit here, and sort of saying, hey, do you want to take this? We've got an answer, you can have it for free. But no, WE instead, they elected with actually taking last pick, so they've gone for counter pick here. They're going to be looking to see what sort of spicy picks they can throw in on 5.
Now, you wouldn't normally predict this for any team, but if you're WE going last pick, I'm expecting that to go towards Monki in the jungle. So perhaps an early bottom lane lock-in would make sense in this situation to respond to the buy that was selected by Tian first for Top Esports.
Yeah, we already see that. Does mean that ZUIAN stocks increase just because it's the best AD carry at trying to deny Vi any sort of access. Instead, WE say, all right, about your job is to play Corki and it's to win lane. We'll see what it is that ends up getting paired with him down on that bot side. We've seen the Nami lots of times previously, and that's going to be locked in here. Plenty of bot lane duos still up and available. I mean, I think Yunara Lulu has kind of fell out of flavor for a lot of players, but that's an answer that we can look to see. Lucian Milio is completely unchecked in this one as well if they want to go for this as Top Esports. It's been a bit of a sore spot, I think, for Top Esports, to be honest, the Lucian Milio, but it's something that they've played a lot.
Haven't won a lot on it, though, especially here in the playoffs. JackeyLove, a very storied AD carry player, 1-3 on Lucian in this split, despite being 52 and 29 on it in the duration of his career. Looks like they're instead going to opt over towards that Yunara Lulu, like you said. Maybe a little bit safer in the early game, but a lot more late game insurance for one of the bigger carries on this TS team.
Yeah, you say safer, I say weaker. I think versus the Corki Nami, it gets bullied earlier on, is the problem that they are going to have to sort of battle up against. But with this Annie locked in by WE, their composition already very much geared toward a mid-game as opposed to a late game. And Top Esports going to, in this second round of picks, decide, do they want to fully index into that late game? Do they want that large scaling mid lane carry, or do they want something that can pair up with the Vi, see them through? I think things like Ahri, definitely something to be considered as a ban here. We know Vi Ahri, a very lethal duo, maybe even a Talia, something like that, that can pair up with the Vi, roam around, get some leads, find a nice stable point to play from, and then pass the ball to JackeyLove in the late stage.
Yeah, the Aurora, also just something that Creme has dominated on this season. The Ahri would make a lot of sense as a final ban for Team WE, especially given the Annie has already been selected here for Karis, and there it is. No Vi Ahri for Top Esports this time around. So yeah, still have to select their solo lanes, while WE, as we mentioned, likely holding that last pick for jungle. So Cube's probably going to have to blind pick you.
Yeah, I think this is just Azir plus Sion for Top Esports. Like, get a big beefy front line. Let's put an Azir in the mix as well. I see the Annie, I can play at range if needed, and honestly, by that stage, I think that puts them in a really, really nice spot to play out what is just a very solid 5v5 teamfight composition with a tank on the top side. I mean, they've banned Chen. We're taking Sion here without a doubt. If Cube doesn't take Sion here, then that's the lock-in. And we'll see. You know, they took R5 for a reason. Are they going to give Monki? You know, they see the counter. They know the Vi's going in there. Are we going to get jungle pick here and answer that, or are we going to blind top, knowing that there's a Sion coming in?
Maybe a preemptive counter. Aatrox is a champion that does well into Sions, particularly earlier into the game. So having Cube lock this in would make a little bit of sense in that regard. He played it in Game 5 of their win against LNG to get them into that postseason bracket, leaving that final pick potentially to Monki, unless they want to flex this Aatrox around.
Yeah, you're right. It could equally be an Aatrox that moves into the jungle for Monki. We've seen plenty of carry junglers taking the Aatrox there. It's not going to be the Azir, instead going to be the Viktor. Locked in for Creme, so, I mean, fits the same brief. We're looking for late game damage. We're looking for a late game team fight. Top Esports, bite the bullet. Yeah, we'll take Sion into Aatrox. We don't care. We don't think Cube's good enough to be able to put ZUIAN far enough behind for this to be a problem. I know it's all about what can Monki do. Are we going for something early game prowess? Yeah. Looks like it. The Olaf locked in on 5.
WE needed something to dive this lethal backline duo of the Yunara and the Viktor, and the Olaf will be able to provide that. There's a lot of appeal in terms of crowd control for Top Esports, but it's not going to matter to a Viking King that can just press R and ignore all of it. WE have an interesting draft. This is also a takeaway from ZUIAN. Monki going to have his work cut out for him in this game too.
Yeah, I think I don't know that I love Olaf versus specifically Yunara. With the ability to sort of dodge an axe as soon as that axe gets thrown down. If you miss, you just get ran away from, and it's not too much of a problem. Obviously, the Lulu will be able to give movement speed over to Karis as well, which is why I think that Lulu, not necessarily the best answer versus an Olaf, obviously, but definitely not the worst in that support role to be able to manage it. But it's a 5v5 composition for Top Esports that wants to get scaling, wait till that late game. WE, it's a get going early or go game 3.
Hey, they've been doing pretty good at getting going early. Not in that game 1, but throughout their run against BLG and AL, two of the most storied teams that have existed in the LPL over the last 2 years. Top Esports, that last remaining champion of a split of the last year in the upper bracket. Still, WE going to try and even this series up against them.
Yeah, game number 2 here between Top Esports and WE. Eyes once again on those junglers to see who can get the ball rolling. The Vi, definitely weaker in the early stages of this one. And Monki does have one play so far on the Olaf. It was a win, and we'll see if he can repeat that success in game number 2.
You know, Root, for a team that has not had a lot of success over the last few years, still lots of WE fans out there. One of the most storied organizations in the league's history, obviously. They've been around for quite some time, but they have not made an international in quite some time. The last time they did that, which could happen today if they end up going into MSI, was 2017 when they made both Worlds and MSI as the #1 seed. That roster including players like 957, Kandi Xie, who's actually on the cast today for the LPL broadcast, and maybe no surprisingly, picked WE to win the series.
Worked a lot with a team that they've already sent down as well. Was the positional coach for WE when Shanks was on the roster, if not mistaken. So definitely a little bit of homegrown favoritism there by ZA, but not a problem. We're all here for it, as the bot lane already getting quite aggressive and actually favoured the push there down on the bot side for Top Esports. Maybe not what we would have expected to see, but it's the position we find ourselves in all the same. Level 2 is going to come on through though now for Erha and About, and that should start to even up the playing field. Obviously, a Corki's HP bar is only as low as a Nami's mana bar, and I think that the healing and the sustaining that can come through from the Nami means that these longer winded trades tend to be favourable for the Corki, for the Nami.
Yeah, you said that potentially the Yunara Lulu could struggle in the early game, but so far JackeyLove and fengyue getting the early push, sending this cannon wave underneath WE's tier 1 turret. Both junglers pathing down towards the bottom lane, but Monki actually going to skip his Gromp to go for an early play towards mid. Creme does have both of his summoner spells up, but Karis has a stun available, not going to be able to land it just yet. And it looks like that stun could be a little bit too far forward. Monki gonna continue the dive. This is a very dangerous play, and Creme will pick up first blood. Karis will then have to flee with double-digit HP.
Laser.
And Creme with one more death ray should be able to do it. The Scorch and the Death Fire will not be enough, and Karis will live.
Monki's just lost his mind. There's no excuse for that. I mean, trading 1-for-1 might be good in the worst of instances. But you've just given over double buffs to a Viktor, plus 25 stacks, double crab to Tian. This is, again, WE needed to get the ball rolling early, and they've just given over the massive advantage.
Oh, no.
Level 4 now to level 3. Smite available for Tian.
And Monki does not have his. Instead, Tian going to look for Karis, who ends up teleporting back into mid. Does force Tian away, so Monki will at least be able to equalize the crabs, hit level 4, but that was not the start that W were looking for. You'd think, Root, after burning the Viktor's flash, they'd be happy enough to back away and go for that play again in a couple of minutes.
You would, and I don't think you'd be forgiven for thinking that either, but such is the way that the Monki mind works, that he feels confident to go for that. Barrier burned down on the bot side. I think if About trades back with Barrier, then he'd be actually able to get some damage down, ends up losing a lot of damage to try and save that summoner spell, but yeah, a good advantage there picked up by the Top Esports bot side. You can see Creme now so much better off in this mid lane, in case Viktor versus Annie wasn't hard enough for an Annie, first of all. notoriously a really easy matchup for the Viktor. You can keep Tian at range, you put the gravity well down. Now with double buffs and an extra kill in his back pocket, this is... I mean, if Karis can do anything this game, I'll be surprised.
Yeah, already 3 points in that death rain. It's starting to hurt for Karis, who does not have the same level of wave clear compared to what the Viktor is able to put out at this point in the game as well. Already down 2 waves of CS. Could be some more as another one crashes underneath his tower. Creme is level 6, and Karis is a couple minions away from 5. This is a mid-gap at this point. Maybe not all Karis' fault, for being honest.
Yeah, this one, you know, very frequently I'm happy to say, hey, you know what, you struggled in this lane for your own transgressions. This time round, this was not his fault. I'm just going to put that one out there. So, Creme going to have to, well, I think carry this game, or we start to question whether or not he has been that growing, developing player that we've seen from him in this year. But I think Creme, you know, for all of the slating that suggests and goes his way, I think he's going to be able to do exactly that. I think this game now becomes a lot more difficult for WE with the Viktor so far ahead of the curve. And again, this is a composition where, as WE, you needed to be winning early, and they are fundamentally not.
A lot of pressure now lies on Monki to try and repay for the sins that he committed in the mid lane just a few minutes ago. He's down here bottom lane, and will be matched with Tian in the Tri-Brush, who pops a control ward to make sure there's no enemy vision. Erha will match the same, and everybody now knows where everybody is.
Oh my god, hello.
He valks forward, gets polymorphed, and then knocked up here by the Q of Tian. We thought we said everybody knew where they were, but About seemingly had a little bit of selective blindness in that situation. Now Creme going to get targeted down, already has the Arcane Storm out, and Monki is ticking dangerously low. fengyue flashes forward and will secure the kill. Cube running from the top lane to make an impact here with the World Ender. Goes on to JackeyLove, but he flashes himself, and it's a 1-0 in favor of Top Esports for now. Q2 about to come through from Q, but it does not land as there's just not enough range that W are able to play with.
All right, chalk it up. Let's go game 3. This one's done, and this is a 1 fight for Top Esports down on the bot side in a 5 versus 4. Now ZUIAN, Secret Agent Sion here, actually dodges all of the vision, makes his way out, and Cube losing out on a cannon wave on the top side, a full wave before that. You could tell it was desperation, the fact that Cube is down there, the fact that he's sacrificing the potential lead that he can get in the top side just to stop the snowball from Top Esports, and ultimately that doesn't happen and the snowball gets bigger anyway.
Not the start that WE was looking for. Tian onto the Hextech Dragon as well. They should be able to secure this one for free. Top Esports are off and rolling like they have been for the remainder of this playoffs.
Okay, so all focus onto Creme here is good, but Cube misses a Q1 there, which allows him to get out, breaks the tether, and then he flashes his Q here. Just completely dodge it, like completely doing the work for Creme. Stops himself from getting the reset, and it's a really big misplay here by the WE top laner. Cost himself a kill and a reset, and maybe a chance at getting back into this one. Definitely a chance at game number 2 now. And the thing is for Top Esports, this one needs to be over in 25 minutes, for better or for worse. So their objective is keep fighting, keep doing these things that are going to look bad. Because the game gets no easier for them. And as Top Esports, they can just sit back and relax, and, well, if we end up finding a couple of kills, then amazing. If we do nothing and they do nothing for 25 minutes, then we're going to win the game anyway. So it's a win-win for Top Esports.
If there is one thing we know about WE, though, is that they like to come back from situations that were perhaps thought to be uncomebackable from. Getting the grubs for Monki is a good start to that comeback plan, but still a lot more work to be done, especially because a dive could open up here in the bottom side. Tian, wait for that cease and desist to be used. About is joined up by Erha, but they're between both of their towers right now and losing CS by the minute.
Smite goes down, Gromp picked up. And what's happening on the other side of the map? Well, there's a good amount of vision on the top side. Yes, WE did secure those grubs, which I think is the very, very thinly veiled silver lining behind what is a massive cloud of despair in this second game. So hopefully if they can get access to turrets, they'll be able to take maybe a plate or 2 extra than they might have been able to do previously. But Creme's already got that Q upgrade. Really in a good spot to kite out Karis, make sure that he's nice and safe with an extra shield as well.
Biggest goal deficit still in the mid lane as Creme continues his tremendous playoff run so far. Obviously getting that first blood, getting a little bit of help from Monki in a weird twisted way. But still a lot left to be done for Creme and the rest of TES. They have definitely had the number of Team WE so far this season. Maybe not in these playoff situations. I'm sure players like Creme remember very fondly of what happened to them just about a year ago.
We'll see whether or not WE can wrestle some semblance of a comeback into this game, into this series, but I mean, this game feels pretty far removed from an opportunity to find a win already. 0-2 on the Olaf for Monki. Maybe on those first items is your best bet to try and find a way back in, as now ZUIAN breaks the tether.
Yeah, there's an unstoppable onslaught onto Cube. Combined with the ultimate here for Tian, should be easy pickings for TES. They go up to a 3-0 kill lead as ZUIAN gets on the board.
Cease and desist, first utilization by Tian works out well, and they take down Cube on the top side. Monki there to watch, might be able to pick up a wave and might actually look for a fight after the fact. There's a TP in and a TP straight back out by ZUIAN. Really good to see that he can escape.
WE still looking for plays. Not necessarily successful, but you'll take at least a summoner spell out of ZUIAN. It was a good thought for Monki. Wait for Tian to head back to base and then find your time to strike. But unfortunately, the teleport had other ideas, and so now, some awkward lane setups right now, and WE aren't going to be super happy about this because neither of their solo laners have that role quest completed yet.
It's the same thing across the board. Looks like it's going to be probably ZUIAN or Creme taking over to their role quest first, but that then opens up for a good amount of flexibility. Malignant's picked up for Karis here. He's got the brown bags on his feet, so going to be needing to work his way towards those tier 3 shoes nice and quickly after this. But this is about the time that I'd like to see WE look for something else, to be completely honest. Drake spawns in 40 seconds. If they don't get that, they don't really have a win condition for the game to go later. And the fact that they had to concede the first dragon is a pretty big indicator for failure of their composition. So if they don't find the second, it just gets worse and worse. And again, top esports, they're quite happy to sit back and do nothing. They'll take the freebies in the top side when they've got them. But outside of that, what is it that WE need to do? It's continue battering their head against the wall, try and make something happen. Hexplate now picked up for Monki as well, so I think this is as good as it gets.
Yeah. I mean, everybody on TES has their first items completed. Not the case for Cube or About, who are going to have to be big players in a potential team fight around this second dragon that has now spawned. W playing the vision game around the bottom side. Tribrush. Tian going to have to face check eventually. Looks like for now, no blood will be shed as the dragon is started up by Monki.
Oh, good flash by fengyue. Didn't even have vision, just walks up and flashes away immediately. Now no Tibbers. Yeah, it's going to be a zoning tool. Here goes ZUIAN.
Yeah, already forcing 2 flashes out of the WE bottom lane, and the rest of the front line is melting to the might of JackeyLove. He gets kill number 1 onto Karis. Monki has to flash away. About now stuck in a 1v1 that he does not like the odds of. Got a little help from fengyue, but JackeyLove gets the double of the same. 2 for nothing, plus the Dragon top esports running away with this second game.
Yeah, and it's going to be a pretty swift one from here on out. Creme feels so confident this game. He's been able to go Proto Belt first item, which is, you know, no mana, just vibes. And he's able to get his way through safety quite easily here. First stack on that Dark Seal, and I can imagine that that's going to get quite well stacked up this game. Take another look at this. fengyue.
This is an
What
incredible
actually
reaction.
happens here? I don't think it's a reaction. Oh, it is. He gets the ward down and then immediately flashes out. So it's ward down, hands on the flash key, and then immediately straight out to safety. ZUIAN knows, hold on, we are so much stronger, and we've got a pincer. Flashes out from About and Erha, separate this into a 2 versus 5 in the pit, one that Karis just has no chance in. One that Monki has to flash away from. And then JackeyLove knows his strength, knows that with the Lulu in his back pocket, it's a 1v1 he's easily able to take.
So getting some more kills for JackeyLove too. Everybody's eating on this TES composition. As we're not even 15 minutes into this game, already a 4,000 gold lead nearly, belonging to our higher seed on the day. Top Esports can smell that trip back to an international because they had that top 4 finish at Worlds last year. Going to try to repeat some of that success, this time in a mid-season form.
You take a look at the differences in the roster as well. I think that many top esports fans would have expected their return to international to be so soon. Obviously, they had a rough situation in split number 1 where they were somewhat forced out of their opportunity to get to international, and now in split number 2, looks like with Tian coming into this team, they're going to find it. They're going to find their way back to the international quite quickly with 2 rookies at the helm. ZUIAN, one of those, now under fire in this bot side, but he's absolutely fine.
Yeah, Olaf and a Corki not going to be able to do much to a Sion that already has an Unending Despair and a Bramble Vest. Might be able to do some stuff to Cube, though, on the other side of the map, as JackeyLove goes on a killing spree with the help of the rest of his team. Monki has popped the Ragnarok and looking to answer in the bottom lane onto ZUIAN. He gets hit up by the tidal wave, but there's just not enough damage to be issued onto this top laner just yet. The red buff not going to finish it, as ZUIAN pops the Soul Furnace for good measure.
You just walk it out, no stress, no harm, no foul, and they take down Cube on the top side. They don't lose ZUIAN on the bot side. They find the Herald as well. They've got both dragons. Like, at this stage in the game, top esports are just sitting pretty. They are laughing, really. With the composition that they've got, the scaling advantages that they have, this game's already over, to be completely honest with you, Grapes. We need to look toward game number 3. We need to look towards WE. I mean, if there was ever movie magic to get them to MSI, it is a reverse sweep.
Yep.
So maybe that's what's on the cards.
And if we pull up, Shivam, our producer, the previous lowest seeds graphic again for Team WE, remembering that they were the 7th seed back in 2021, that was a roster that had players like Shanks and Elk, nearly able to make it all the way to Worlds from that split, but losing multiple best of 5s in a row to avoid being able to make it back to that World stage. WE hoping to avoid that fate 5 years later, although it's not looking good so far, at least in the upper bracket finals. ZUIAN teleporting for an extra shield to try to survive this dive. It worked pretty well last time in the bottom lane. Will it happen top? He just uses the Q to clear the whole wave and is able to ult down, force the flash out of Karis. It is 3 members of Team WE here to try to chase the Sion down. They'll eventually get back into the driver's seat, at least in the kill department, with the kill going over to the Annie. But it took a lot longer than they would have liked, and it's going to result in plates falling in both mid and bot.
I mean, it might not just be plates here. Tier 2 turret going to fall down on the bot side at the hands of Creme. Many plates, as you highlighted, falling in the mid lane as well. And this Viktor's just getting absolutely leveled up. Level 13 versus Karis, who is currently level 10. Ugh! Just ticks over to level 11. But this Viktor is just something that I don't think WE have got the ability to take down. And that's in isolation. If we include fengyue shielding, Tian peel, JackeyLove damage as well. Yeah. I mean, we know where this game's going, let's be honest.
So remember the pre-show when we did the worst trade deals in history?
Yeah.
We talked about Erha going from Weibo to WE. That might have topped the list. Right
it's
there.
Definitely up there.
Two towers for one lowly kill on to ZUIAN that took 3 players on WE to even barely get a hold of.
Alright, Grapes.
And now Team WE further in the backseat with this
10 seconds on an Ocean Dragon. It's sole point for top esports if they take it. The exact opposite of the situation that it should be. But it's WE that need to fight. They need to be here. They need to get involved. Cube's got TP. He's going to go back to base. Let's look at the items. We've got gold on about, but no Mura mana finished just yet. But I mean, yeah, how do you even get in?
Yeah, they burn the TP for Cube, so maybe WE feel like they have to respond, but they just don't have the time to. Instantly, it's soul point for TES and a flash burn from Erha with the unstoppable onslaught going forward for ZUIAN. Top esports are rather far forward. The Aqua Prison going to slow the Sion down for now, but he's still very tanky with his Unending Despair and will be able to get out scot-free.
Just does no damage, unfortunately. I mean, 2-item Corki, probably the apex of his power, Tian dashing forward here. Monki getting absolutely obliterated.
Oh,
a TP behind.
Shield to stay alive. There's teleport all the way in the back for Karis, but he's way too far away at this point. And Tian knows that the numbers advantage now belongs to them. Cease and desist onto Cube to make it a 1-0, and about is chunked down to 40% underneath his own tier 2. Karis has to pretty embarrassingly head back to base after an aggressive teleport, and Top Esports win another fight.
He just TP'd into the blue buff and then walked top, didn't even clear a wave. I don't quite know what that TP was looking to accomplish. Maybe try and get some more gold, work towards getting your proto belt so that you've got some semblance of a way back into a fight of sorts, but it's going to be tricky for WE. That's the short answer here. As Cube walks forward, ends up getting caught out by a nice little assault and battery, or cease and desist as it is now. And then just about able to get away. Good bubble from Erha, worth mentioning. Not having a disastrous game on the Nami. Feels like the top side of this map really fell before the bot lane did, but
yep.
What is the Nami supposed to do this game when my Olaf has dove level 3 onto a Viktor who doesn't die?
Yeah, we talked a lot about that play, and I think rightfully so. It is literally the reason that we are in this spot right now. Yeah. The domino effect has fully rolled over, and those dominoes all stacking in favor of Top Esports because of it. 7-1 in kills, 5,000 in gold, 3-0 in dragons, everything going their way at this point.
You know, I wonder if Monki had the same reaction as I did when that happened, you know? Okay, go next. Just like flip the game, level 3 for no reason. And then he goes, okay, that'll do me. Thank you so much. Because that's the brutal honesty of this, is that when you do something like that, it causes so many problems. Either way, though,
it was working out for WE the last 2 rounds. Monki would just flip the game, and it would always go up heads. This time, though, it's been tails for the last couple of games.
Well, I'm here for the reverse sweep. You know, you can't win a series 3-2 without losing 2 games. So this is just WE getting those games out the way. You know.
Yeah, as you mentioned, if you want a story that could be turned into an anime adaptation in a couple of years, you need the reverse sweep here. So maybe the scriptwriters have something planned out for us here in the
when
upper
everybody
finals.
doubted them, we thought they were doing so much work. They beat BLG, they beat AL, then they get to their easiest opponent, quote unquote, in Top Esports. But okay, thought we were going to see a Tibbers there, we didn't. And when the chips were down, they lost 2 series, or lost 2 games. That's when Monki unleashed the Super Saiyan.
Yeah, the motivational speech is going to go crazy, potentially. But maybe it happened in game. As WB still looking for fights, because that's all their composition knows how to do. At this point, we got the Dragon Soul spawning in a minute 20. And for now, WE, I think they just want to pull this Baron and force something here.
Yeah.
Okay, they definitely thought about it, and then maybe decided against it. Perhaps smartly.
They have to, though. There isn't a good way of taking a fight. I think their best option is make Top Esports struggle and like make them think, because at the minute everything that they've thrown at them is pretty vanilla, pretty simple. Why not when I'm 5k gold down? Why don't I flip a Baron? You know, well, you're not going to expect that. It's the sucker punch that maybe they're not anticipating here. Either way, it's not going to be easy for WE. Their one sort of bright spot currently is that Cube is 600 gold up over ZUIAN. Is that Aatrox going to be able to deal with Creme, JackeyLove through Lulu? No, it's absolutely not. But it might be able to handle a Sion in a 1v1.
Is that enough, though? I don't know. I don't think that they know either. As we have now.
Well, I think they do know. I think
yeah,
that's the problem.
It's not good. It's not a yes, is I think the answer here. Top Esports certainly feeling good as they send a teleport into the mid lane for ZUIAN to make sure they are at their peak strength for this Ocean Soul about to spawn. He thought ZUIAN was harder to kill already. Think about what could happen if he gets that Ocean Soul. Poke him about as good as it chunks fengyue down to 60%. WE have already started up this dragon. Tian has won a lot of 50-50s in this series so far. He could pull out another one here in this second game. Death Blazers here for Creme, dishing out a lot of damage, and ZUIAN still basically untouched at this point. A big rocket only doing a few hundred damage at this point.
I mean, they need to just hit the dragon here. Like, the longer that they wait, the worse this is. They're getting chipped down by the Ocean, and Top are just going to take the fight.
They're just going to stop alongside. ZUIAN sends all of WE back, and that means that Top Esports can finish the Dragon themselves. It'll be secured by JackeyLove with the final auto at 16 HP. And TES have gotten the soul and could be looking for more. Karis is beaten down as JackeyLove has been transcended and ascended into God mode. It is 10-1 in favor of TES as they win the fight and claim the Ocean Soul.
Yeah, they'll claim Baron off the back of this as well. Cube, I don't think he dies to the Aatrox here, but or dies as the Aatrox, but I do see on the minimap. Yeah, there's a Viktor. Flash away from Cube, maybe just to buy time, but the three-man band of Tian, JackeyLove, and fengyue are all taking this Baron anyway. Cube just taking Creme on a wild magical mystery tour right now, and maybe he'll live.
It's been dying to take Cube away, but he will end up going back to his own base at this point, I believe. The Baron melting down Erha. Can he pull out the miracle? If he steals this game, they're going to come back. Okay. Didn't end up happening.
No, I truly believe. Oh, wait. Creme's found Cube? Never mind. Didn't find him fully. We thought about it, though. Flash auto from the Nami. Could have stole the Drake, maybe. Yeah, we are full cope right now. Yeah, Top Esports have got this game. Let's take a look at the replay for this one. Unfortunately, you need to just start wailing onto this Drake, because as soon as Top Esports are in this position, they can engage whenever, and that's the crux of this, is that Top Esports should really just engage any fight. Like, they're so far ahead, it doesn't really matter. There are 3 people caught in the Viktor ulti here that are all getting zoned away. They can't walk through it, so the Dragon falls immediately. And at this point, Tian, he gets stunned, and JackeyLove flashing over bubbles, just going, guys, can we please take a fight? I'm itching to get in there as this Yunara. Finally, they do. Now he's 3 items deep. Okay, we've got a stun. We've got a wave.
Tidal wave. There's Tibbers as well. Okay, that's the Guardian Angel being popped by Tian, and the rest of his team nowhere to be seen at this point. The Valk going to do a little bit of extra damage, but Tian flashes away. Allows for ZUIAN to enter the picture and land a 3-man decimating smash. Teleport coming in from Cube as a fight has broken out, but they're playing on the wrong side of the map at this point. JackeyLove still untouched on the backline. Picks up kill number 1. Ragnarok not going to do enough, and it's a double kill in for the Yunara. WE looked for Tian, they got his Guardian Angel, but they lose 2 in response.
Yeah, and they look to do emotional damage here to WE. They could have just taken a top inhib and been absolutely fine. 1v3 now.
Stun onto Creme, but Creme does a lot of damage himself. Will be a shutdown to go the way of Karis, and so WE get back on the board. The rest of the base not so lucky, though, as it now is cancel time for Tian as he enters into a 1v3. He will go down, but that will be enough time for the inhibitor to be bursted down in the mid lane.
Yeah, this is definitely emotional warfare at this stage, because both of Tian and Creme fully chucked themselves into the fire there. They knew they were going to die, and chose to go for that anyway, all to secure an inhibitor. I fully believe that on Tian's side, the inhibitor was already secured. I don't think he needed to do that, but he did it for the love of the game anyway. But they have got the mid lane inhibitor. They've got an 8k gold lead. They've got a better scaling team. Why can't they have a little bit of fun in a game that's already done?
Why not? And you know what? If you're WE, just keep trying, I guess. At this point,
doesn't get better.
Again, we've seen these kind of miracle comebacks. They come from these sort of situations, but just given how this trajectory of this one has gone so far, seems hard to imagine a world where Top Esports do not open up a 2-0 series lead, potentially get themselves up to that grand final. About has finished his 3rd item and has hit level 14. Problem is, JackeyLove has a 4th item.
Yeah.
So, not really a strength there either.
No, and he's relatively close to level 15 as well. Okay, we're going back to an age-old classic. Ocean Soul versus Sion.
Okay. Oh. Hey, can't generate the Ocean Soul if you get one shot. And so, nice job by WE. They play the Fnatic Rush, and they're able to get a singular kill, but there's no objectives to really fight over at this point.
Do Top Esports take a 4v5 anyway? Just for the sake of it, you know? That's what I'm thinking right now, as they have got
mental damage. That could certainly be the case here. World Ender already popped by Cube as JackeyLove is tremendously powerful on this Yunara already. A heal has been popped for WE to try and escape, as Top Esports are still bullying this team in a 4v5 situation. Monki looking to try to make a trade onto Creme. He pops the Ragnarok as a last-ditch effort, but is sure to be bursted down before he even takes Creme to 50%. Tian makes it a 1-for-1 in the extended play, and WE are back on the run.
Yeah, they need to walk out as a 5-man unit there, and unfortunately the second they get even slightly separated, the fight's all too easy for Top Esports. Now ZUIAN has TP, they're just probably going to dart it into the bot lane. They've got a wave already prepped down there. Creme takes a little bit of damage from the Corki autos, but dodges out on a couple of rockets and a frost bomb to keep himself safe. And the Ocean Soul constantly churning as well. He'll be able to work his way back up to full HP within not too much time at all. The inhibitor falls for top esports. Second wave crashes at the same time as the bot one. Nexus turret's now up for the chopping block.
They sent the TP in for ZUIAN, so WE going to have to try to defend right now as top esports want to end this game here. Monki has respawned, does not have the Ragnarok available, but it might not matter here for TES. Into ZUIAN, forcing him down to half. Knockup lands onto Monki, and JackeyLove nearly one-shots him. He goes forward and kills Erha instead, and the Wild Growth will keep him nice and healthy until their game just ends. It is a triple kill going the way of the Yunara, the Nestix explodes, and TES taking us to match point.
And in much similar fashion now,